Welcome to July 6th. It's a Tuesday, 2021. Welcome to the Day Weather Podcast. Well, what we see coming is routine summer weather. I think the best way to describe it is there's really nothing extraordinary going on. It's just going to be summer with some ups and downs as we head on into the rest of this week and into the weekend, this first full week of July. Now, the moisture supply is going to weaken. We're not going to have nearly as much moisture to work with. We've had quite a bit of thunderstorm activity over the last week in many areas, but we're going to see that easing. One thing about monsoonal moisture flow, it comes in surges. It never comes in and stays. It comes in, goes away, comes back again, goes away, comes back again. And we're going to be in the period here where it will certainly not be as strong. And that's going to allow things to heat up Wednesday and Thursday. But we've got a cool front coming Friday and Saturday, especially east of the divide, that will pull back temperatures a bit and maybe produce a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity. And as we go through the end of this week into next week, it does look like it's a weak monsoon flow for a while. It's going to be more down into Arizona, New Mexico, southern Colorado. So unfortunately, that means many of you are going to go back to a dry pattern. Now, hopefully, many of you in the last week to 10 days have picked up some needed rain. Not everybody has, but many have. But we're going to go back to a drier trend here for a bit. But we do see the monsoon moisture pattern picking up in mid to late July. And that's when the monsoon moisture flow historically tends to be the strongest, the middle of July to the middle of August. And we do see later this month it getting going again. Today we've got a big area of high pressure centered over the Arizona, Nevada, Utah area right here. This is where the heat's going to be. And so it's going to be a warmer weather pattern with run-of-the-mill chances of late-day shower and thunderstorm activity. And this is also going to bring back the heat. So these are temperatures by Thursday afternoon relative to average. So anywhere you see the red here and the orange, above average temperatures. Again, this is something that we talked about earlier this summer, and we're going to talk about through the rest of the summer, the arch of heat from the desert Southwest to the northern Rockies and northern plains. But it does move back into Colorado, western Nebraska, eastern areas of Wyoming, western South Dakota, southern Montana. It's going to get hot again, and unfortunately, hot and dry weather back into these really parched areas of the Great Basin will continue. But as we get into late Friday and Saturday, notice the high pressure goes a little bit more to the west. This allows a cool front and a trough to come in right here. So we're going to have a cool front come along and down the Continental Divide Friday afternoon and the Saturday. This will cool the air off and will bring some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity, and the hot weather will be relegated to the Great Basin, California, and parts of the Pacific Northwest, while the Central Plains and east of the divide cools off. So a couple of hot days, a couple of cooler days, and over the next 3 to 4 days, this is what the chances of precipitation look like. Unfortunately, again, we go back to a pattern here where west of the Continental Divide, well, it gets hot and dry again for the rest of the week and into the weekend, while along and east of the divide is where the better chances of showers and thunderstorms are going to be, as well as that better moisture flow down here into Arizona and New Mexico, but certainly weaker than it's been. By Friday, though, into Saturday, here's the cooler air with that cold front. This is by Friday afternoon. You can see the cooler air descending on the region. This is nothing that's out of the ordinary, but certainly noticeably cooler air comes in Friday and Saturday, and then it will spill down the divide during the day Saturday, going all the way down into Texas. But look at the contrast. West of the divide, it gets really, really hot again. Back into Boise, Washington, Oregon, the Central Valleys of California, into Utah, northern Arizona, southwest Colorado. So we're going to see some really high fire danger return to these areas again later this week and into the weekend, while east of the divide, there's a cool down coming. And if you were to look at over the next 10 days, temperatures relative to average will be coolest from the Dakotas to Texas into New Mexico, near normal just along the Front Range, and above average temperatures in the Pacific Northwest and most of Canada. Again, the arch of heat, again, is going to be in those areas from the desert states in the Pacific Northwest through southern areas of Canada as we go through the next 7 to 10 days. Now, as we go out to 10 days from now, high pressure again, kind of where it is right now. More over Nevada, the Great Basin areas, allowing northwest flow east of the divide and bottling up the heat in the Great Basin, but we do see the Pacific Northwest cooling off a little bit. This will likely send a frontal boundary in late next week into areas along and east of the divide, and that corresponds with probably a better influx of upper level moisture coming back on in. So that's why we're talking about, if you look at the map here, that 10 days from now is right at the 15th and 16th of July. So we do see kind of a routine July pattern by then. And if we were to look at how the moisture evolves, this is what we call precipitable water. Anywhere you see green or blue is above average amounts of water available to produce showers and thunderstorms. Brown shows the dry air. White shows, well, the water content about average. And this is for this afternoon. So you can see the best arch of thunderstorms across the United States will be right here and up across parts of Montana and northeastern Wyoming. But as we go forward, this is for Friday. Notice this wedge of drier air coming in west of the divide right here. So as we get on into the end of the week, as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to see some drier air come in. Now there is going to be some moisture available for some showers and thunderstorms along that frontal boundary Friday into Saturday. But look what happens by Sunday. A pretty dry air mass is moving on in. So we're looking at probably not much activity as we get into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week until this moisture begins to return. And we do see that. This is by next Thursday and Friday. Subtropical moisture starts to deepen and starts to come back in. This will remain a problem area. This area here, the Pacific Northwest, California, the Northern Great Basin, back into Idaho, western areas of Wyoming, western areas of Montana, going to continue to be very dry. But Utah, Colorado, parts of Wyoming, New Mexico, going to get into that frequent chance of late day showers and thunderstorms again late next week. So we're talking about 10 days out from now. Don't forget to subscribe to the Day Weather YouTube channel. Have yourself